Welcome to the Hooch, where the only place more messed up than your hosts is the barracks on a Friday night or the VA. So get ready to stand by for your weekly dose of toilet humor and shenanigans from your fellow veterans, Coy Mack and Michael Grizzled Grunt Harris.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Got Michael and myself here. Yeah, there he is. I've even forgotten which buttons do the switcher stuff. So yeah, as you saw, we're going to talk about Biden falling down the stairs, and I'll play that video for you because that's really hilarious. It came out after my other Too Long Didn't Care video that I was talking about Biden being weak and how he was basically destroyed by like both Russia and China within a week time spread, because our America's, I don't even know what we're doing anymore. I feel lost after Trump's done, and then we haven't been able to do this either.
I feel like we woke up in a twilight zone. It's just like it was like the day after he got in office. You woke up the next morning and something was off. This guy, the State of the Union didn't happen. He hasn't. You don't think it's like it did not happen. Nothing happened. No, it didn't happen. What is it? February 20th or something supposed to happen. And it didn't happen. And then all this, he's not talking to press and all this CGI shit. I'm sure you're going to get into it with the microphones and all this other stuff. Yep. Something's not right, man. Something is not right.
Speaking of not right, every time I have to do stuff with Michael, it seems to want to just screw up with him. I don't know why. It doesn't like Michael because he's black.
And that's what she said. Every time I do something with Michael, it always screws up.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. It really does.
Some of it might be me.
You think?
But you on the other end, the majority of it is you.
It's got to be because I've got,
just like my relationships.
Okay. Since we're on the topic of relationships and stuff, so you got COVID right after a breakup, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a breakup, and it was one of those things that all I was saying is that it is what it is. It happened, But then right after that, I got COVID. And
which is a shit thing to have happen.
My life was just in a shit storm, And so after that, I was still fucking, kind of depressed and going through my shit. And then boom, I got COVID. And I was like, oh, even more. Now I'm sick and depressed. This is some fucked up shit.
That is the worst thing to happen, honestly. Being sick and depressed at the same time. It is the worst situation in the world.
And you're like, I want to take all, I just want to end it, but I'm going to just let COVID do it. Then my body's like, fuck you, pussy.
COVID's going to take me. Jesus, take the wheel.
I'm not going to put my own hand to it. I'm going to let nature do it. Then my body was like, quit being a fucking little bitch. You're going to get over this. Then I got over COVID. And then a fucking winter storm hit. And it was just like, what the fuck? And then shortly after that, my petunia runs away.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot your little chihuahua decided
to my girl, I text you, man. I was emotional as fuck when I told you that shit. She ran away.
You definitely were. Like, you were very emotional with it.
Oh, yeah. I love her to death. And then she comes back, and then everything's starting to look bright again. I'm going into a new job, and everything is where I want it to be, for right now. We'll see. And I'm going to culinary arts, and I'm doing all this other stuff.
I was about to ask you what you were going to go into.
Me, I love cooking, so I want the stamp of approval, and I'm going to the school, and we'll see where it takes.
Because he's gonna be the bro kitchen guy, that's that's who he is.
I am the bro kitchen. I'm the grizzled grunt still, but
I actually got called Fat Tim Pool recently, so that was fun. Because Tim Pool owns the fucking beanie. I can't wear a fucking beanie, assholes. PocketNet. You know who I'm talking to? You fucking neo-Nazi bullshit
That was
fuckers.
YouTube?
No, it was on PocketNet. It was a totally different platform, which Temple did is sponsored by them, and I've been using it recently to kind of work it up. We've gotten some subscribers from it onto the YouTube channel. And then, it was called Fat Temple, and then it's like, oh, ACG's trying to copy Temple, and it's like, no, I'm trying to do my own fucking thing. Fuck off.
No, I did tell you one time that you did look like Temple.
I am not Asian. I am like black and white. That's I'm sorry. I'm mostly white, but I have 1% black. So there.
No, this is one drop.
I have more than Elizabeth Warren does of Native American.
But Temple is Asian, and
he's Korean and white. So
your name is Koi. So
koi as in is no, not as a koi as a KOI. It's COY as in the definition of koi, playing shy and obtuse.
You're still named after a fish, an
I'm
Asian
not.
fish.
I'm not named after a fish. I do. How do I have Vietnam eyes? I don't look Asian. I have never looked Asian in my life. I don't know where that came from.
They would say you was his twin, just a bigger version.
Who got fatter? Like Temple got fatter in the cheeks there.
Exactly. So he's catching up to you. So he's obviously
No. They're saying that I look like Fat Temple. That's what it was.
Oh, you look like Temple. Just accept it as a compliment.
I don't. No, I don't. I don't like being compared to other people. Nobody likes being compared to other people.
I get compared to Ice-T all the time, and I just accept it. I'm just like, you look like.
That's cool though.
But you and Ice-T look alike. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
All time. You know what I mean?
Cool.
I'm just like, I'll accept it.
I'll take that one. But yeah, no,
I change it up. You know, I'm going to my whole '80s thing. I'm bringing it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got to bring it back. You got to bring it back.
He's doing it.
I'm dangerous. You know?
No, I get it. I wish that I was cool like that. I'm not. I'm just some boring white guy. Just a boring white guy.
And I
well, that's good.
Yeah.
So, going back into everything, you didn't see what was it? Lost my words. Jeez. Okay, you didn't see the whole thing with what was going on with our ambassador in Alaska with China, right? Did you see the video that I did? Too long getting carried.
I watched a little bit of it.
Okay, so basically what it came down to is China basically, we said that here's all the things that you're doing wrong, and they said, fuck you, one. Like, that was like the first one they did. They're like, first off, fuck you. You're not coming from a position of strength. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, this isn't what they said, but it was undertoned in it. Basically, it was, fuck you. Okay, you're not coming from a position of strength. And hey, how about you unfuck your own self before you tell us to unfuck ourselves? Ooh. Right? Like, that was what it came down to, is them just saying, unfuck you before you say to unfuck us. Okay? Like, stop killing black people, and we'll stop killing Uyghurs. That was basically what it went down to.
So here's the thing. You know, under the Don, the Trump.
Yeah. The Donnie.
They might have said that. They might have got it out, but he would have came back with some other shit. Oh, okay. You want to say fuck me?
Honestly, I don't think they would have said it. If it would have been Donald Trump still in office, they wouldn't have done that. But they know that Joe Biden is weak. The administration is weak, and they're not going to do a fucking damn thing.
Kamala's like, did you hear what they said, Joe? Oh, no. What they say? Funk me? I like funk music too. She's like, here, take your pill. Oh, thank you. Go to sleep. And he goes to sleep, and she writes all the bills and everything, and she...
Right. Something like that.
Joe Biden. That's crazy, man, that, you know, he would get disrespected. You know, the president of the free world would get that disrespected.
The president of the United States. Like, it wasn't just the fact that it wasn't the president. It was the ambassador that got that disrespect. So therefore, the U.S. got that disrespect. And that's the thing that people are like not really understanding, is the fact that they were doing that towards the U.S. It wasn't towards the president of the United States. It was to the United States itself. And like, we should not be advocating for foreign adversaries to to be better, like to be this, because like there's some people that are like, oh yeah, look, I'd rather have Chinese like Xi Jinping versus Biden, and it's like, no, I would not rather have that or Vladimir Putin as our president. I just wish he would be better. I wish Joe Biden wasn't Joe Biden, and I wish it was somebody stronger. That's what I wish. Yeah.
And he'll never be better. Here's the thing, man. You know, I don't even know if that's the real Joe Biden, for one. For two,
it's the real Joe Biden.
It's not the real. I think it's an actor or somebody that's trying to play Joe Biden. But you know, I don't understand how people even voted for this guy. All the signs were there for the election. You know, all the signs were out there. This guy is in a mental decline. And people still voted for him. What policies, if you ask any liberal that voted for him, you say, what policy did you like that Joe Biden proposed made it the reason you would vote for him?
Yeah, and they're not. And here's the other funny thing is the fact that he fell down the stairs. Like, if you haven't seen the video, let's go ahead and take a look.
Oh, man,
so
this is great because
it's amazing.
No, before this video, or a couple months ago, during the election, he goes, "Look, Trump can barely walk."
Oh yeah, because he fell off. Yeah,
run up some stairs.
So as we're watching, he's like, "I'm going up. Look at this. I'm gonna go up the stairs. Look, I'm going up the stairs. Up. I'm rushing. I'm rushing. And there I fell. Oh god.
There he goes again.
I fell again. Oh
shit. And he's gonna get up and brush off his knee.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
No, the best thing is the end where he's like turns around awkwardly and salutes.
But didn't they say that?
And there it is, the salute.
They said it was a gust of wind.
It was a gust of wind that took him down. Like that's even worse. Like don't say that it was a gust of wind took down the president of the United States.
You know what I mean? What made the wind blow that hard? Yeah, the wind was blowing a little bit, but I didn't see like a super gust of wind, like some Narnia freaking never-ending story shit, like the nothing. It was just like,
right.
It was like a more like you hit a fly on your arm and you're like, and you get
and then he fell down. Like the old man fell down because I blew really hard. I think that's what it was.
Not once.
Yeah, he fell 3 times. No. Why did you vote for this? Like honestly, like why? Like nobody. Like there needs to be an age limit to when somebody can be elected into office. If you're over 75, you should not be running for president of the United States. Okay, that's just it. Like you should be retired in a boat somewhere fishing or fly fishing up to your waist in like water. That's what you should be doing right now. You should not be running a country.
No.
Period.
And this guy barely knows his ABCs now. You know what I mean? A, B, C, D, come up. And, you know, he called Kamala President Harris. I'm just like, and that's not the first time he did it.
Right.
You know, who is this guy? You know, and we're going to make fun of him. Yeah. Hey, get it. You leftists. I got it.
I wish, honestly,
based off your belief, he won. Wink, wink. And based off of that, we will say he is the president, wink, wink, of the United States.
He is the president of the United States. He is our president. Like it or not, that's what he is. And it sucks. It really does. Because, like, I wish he was a better person. I honestly, I wish Donald Trump was a better person. Then he wouldn't have been voted out of the office. But they didn't like that he was in to begin with.
You need to calm down with that talk right now.
I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of things that Trump could have done better. Honestly, like there could have been better things.
The only thing I cared about was money in my pocket.
That people like that, and I'm glad that it's gone up another 50 cents since Joe Biden took office. Because people don't understand how economics work. Once you like kill a pipeline that is going to be safely and faster transportation of oil that you're dependent on to make everyday life work, makes gas go up when you cancel it. So now we have to be dependent on foreign oil again because the petrodollar is what runs the world. And so now we're gonna invade Syria or something else. I don't know. But we're done as kind of like the world power. If you look at what's going on with how Russia and China are treating the United States, it's already past the hay time for them. It's the sun's coming down and we're in the backside of it. That's just the way it looks, especially when they took all the bombers off of Guam recently. because they were afraid China would be able to retaliate and wipe out all the bombers before they had a chance to get them off the ground. If that doesn't show weakness, that we're afraid of another power to the point that we need to move our own equipment, and then them coming out and saying, basically, fuck you. You don't get to tell me what to do because you're a fuck up. I'm a fuck up. You're a fuck up. You don't get to tell me what we're doing wrong. And so now here we are. We have China telling us that we're fuck ups, and then Putin saying, "Hey, yeah, I bet I could beat you in a debate." Yeah, let's debate.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I agree with everything you're saying about how we're looked at as a country.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how these leftists would call out Donald Trump for making us look like a certain way, or making us look like a certain way in front of foreign countries.
Yeah.
But he's the only president to step in across the DMZ. He freaking made a joint, agreement with Israel and all their neighbors, most of their neighbors. So you're telling me this man is a bad president? Yeah, he says certain things, and certain things.
I didn't say he was a bad president. I said he could have been better. There's a difference.
I think he, in my time outside of Reagan, he's probably number 2, really close to Reagan. I would give him more because he was.
Yep.
Anti-PC on Twitter and social media platforms, but rumor mill is he's getting all his social media platforms back in 3 months.
I also heard that he's going to be running his own recently. There was an article, I just saw that. He's going to start his own social media company. I don't know how that's going to look or what it's going to be like.
Tremendous.
But that should be interesting for sure.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be fantastic. It's fantastic.
So yeah, I still, support Don Trump. I still support him. I always will, because I believe that he had our best interests at heart, even though he's not president. Wink, wink. But he doesn't have the title of president. He's still someone I look up to and respect. I have his book. I have his son's book. I read them both. Art of the Deal and Triggered. So, you may not have liked the guy. He may have been brash. You knew that when he was on The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Way before this, when he was in WWE, you knew that he was a very in-your-face, brash type of person. That's his personality. Just because you become president, your personality doesn't leave you, or how you was raised. He was a 70-year-old something man, 74, set in his ways.
Yeah, he was not changing.
Sorry. Yeah, he was already set in that way. So sorry you didn't like his talk. But I feel even more sorry for you that you voted for Joe Biden, because he's
honestly that is the dumbest thing in the world, is the fact that people voted for Joe Biden thinking that he was going to fix everything. Like, it's been a couple, it's not even a couple of months. It's only been
90 days
and a half.
Almost.
Like, yeah, it's not something huge that he's been involved with. So
yeah, and they shun someone like Tulsi Gabbard. Is someone
that's the thing. Most people don't understand, if they would have put Tulsi Gabbard in the running, Trump would have had a really hard time, because it would have broken up a lot of the veteran vote, because there's a lot of guys that I've heard and I've seen on social media that like Tulsi Gabbard. They didn't like all of her policies, but they liked her as a person. But I think she's now switched to the other side of the aisle. Yeah, she's definitely.
Slow down now. Slow down. I just said I liked her. And if I had to pick a Democrat, say I had to choose.
If it was between like Hillary Clinton and Tulsi Gabbard, it's obviously Tulsi Gabbard.
I'm gonna pick Tulsi, but I would have never picked her over
Kamala versus Tulsi. Yeah,
I would have never picked her over Trump.
You might not have, but there are others in this world that would have.
I agree. And if Tulsi Gabbard was president right now, I would actually call her president.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I think she would have pulled us out of a lot of the stuff that Trump was already trying to do. So that was one of the things, like, we wouldn't have had if Tulsi would have been elected, was if Donald Trump lost to Tulsi, then she would still be pulling people out, just like Donald Trump was doing, instead of invading Syria and doing another rocket attack. And I understand why he did it. I understand why he does that. He rocketed Syria. I don't understand why he put more troops into Syria. That's the different question. Is like, why did he do that?
Everything in these politicians, all these upper level buffoons, Everything is a political reason. He did it for some reason that we will never know. Maybe the
Yeah.
optics will tell us. Maybe we can assume why he did
I'll
it.
assume
But there
why
was
he did it.
something deeper into why he did that without the proof, without approval from a lot of people, upper echelons, the Congress and everything else.
Because they're all in on it. I mean, that's why.
Yeah, so there's a reason they were trying to,
And we lost Michael.
the shiny just bombed Syria, but over here they're doing something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We lost you for a second. Just say that again.
So I'm saying the old term called the shiny object.
Yeah.
Retention, that's big, it's huge. Bombing
Right.
another country, you're a new president. Over here, they're doing something different. This is why the $1,400 stimulus bullshit they sent us. Because over here, while they were bombing over here,
Yeah.
they were like, we're not giving them $2,000. We're not giving them $4,000. Donald Trump offered us $4,000.
Yeah.
They dropped it down to $2,000, and then they dropped it down to $1,400 because they say, "Oh, we already gave you."
Because we already gave you the 600, and now
Yeah,
we're
we
giving
already
you the
gave it to you.
1,400. So there, it's 2,000.
But
Like we
here,
promised.
and here's the thing: you get a lot of leftists out there to be like, "Okay, you Trump supporters, if you get
Trumpers.
the stimulus, Trump tards or whatever the fuck they call us, if you get
Yeah.
the stimulus check, are you going to give it back?" Well, no. You know
Well,
why
fuck
I'm
no,
not going
not.
to give it back when I get it? It's because
It's my money anyway.
It's my money.
It's
They're
my
just
money
giving
anyway.
me my refund. It's
I-
less
if-
refund I would get, or any
That's-
people like you with kids,
Yeah.
your refund.
Yeah, no, and that's what I was gonna say is the fact that, it's my money. It's money that we paid in taxes. It's our stuff anyway. And like, if we can give money for Pakistani gender studies, I can give $1,400. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to say, give it back. And it's like, no, give me back the money you gave to Pakistan for gender studies.
So-
give me that shit back.
And here's another thing you have to think
Yeah.
about is how much money we put into Social Security, right?
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been working since I was 17. So I've been putting
Mhm.
money into Social Security, Social Security, Social Security. So instead of just saying it's tax dollars, if they would have came out and said, well, we're just giving you $1,400 out of your Social Security,
Yeah. No, that
people
don't
would
fly,
think
man.
differently. So technically that's where the money's coming from. It's not coming from no stimulus in our taxes. It's coming from Social Security. But most people get their money, they don't really think about how much they're supposed to get and all this other stuff. I can guarantee you that's where it's coming from.
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, they've always been against Social Security anyway because they want to raise the age to where we die before we get it. So if we can deplete that money by giving it out any stimulus, we're giving them their money anyway. It's their
Yeah.
money. But we'll just say, oh, it's from tax dollars and we gotta
tax
raise
money.
taxes to pay it back. If people
That's
would
a-
actually think about what the fuck comes out their mouths, especially dumbass liberals out there, you guys would understand that this money is our money and it's not coming out of taxes, or it is coming
Yeah.
out of taxes. but those
It's coming out
taxes
of your
are
money.
Social Security money.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's
that
stuff
shit.
it's stuff you're never going to see again.
Yeah, you're never gonna see it again.
Speaking of never seeing again, we got to talk about the crisis at the border. So Washington
Oh,
is
yeah.
overwhelmed as border officials surge DC and they do that. So the migrant crisis is kicking up yet again because it seems like every time a new president comes in, they're just like, let's see if we can make it, and then they just like send a bunch of people, or they send themselves to the border and try to make it in. But that's kind of what you get for open border policies and saying that, hey, we're not going to deport people. What did you think was going to happen, Joe Biden, when you said we were going to deport people?
Exactly, because
In his defense, in the administration's defense, I will say that they have said, don't come. The border is closed. Don't come. Don't show up. Don't do it. They've said this now, but after running the entire time on open border policies, you can't have it both ways, man. Like, I'm glad you said don't come, but then at the same time, you're the one responsible for it.
okay, first off, when you said don't
Yeah.
come, I was gonna say that's what she said. But go back. We're gonna circle back, right?
Yeah.
So when they say don't come, when you have, let's say, 3,500 migrants already traveling, how many of them are going to see that message of don't come?
Oh yeah, they're still gonna come. Like, it doesn't matter.
that they start traveling and all this other stuff, and they start driving coming into their what they call a caravan.
They're migrant caravans. Yeah,
migrant caravan is supposed to make it sound like it's nice, like a circus caravan or a whatever caravan, but it's not nice.
It's a nice caravan.
So, like I said earlier, a couple segments, one segment earlier, I said something about the shiny object.
Shiny objects,
It's another shiny object, man, to take people's fucking mind off what fucking up and them focusing on the border. Don't focus on that stuff. Keep your eye on Joe Biden. Whatever's going on outside of your control, you can't control the border. You're sitting in freaking New York. You have nothing to do with what's going on in these border towns or these border states. What you need to do in certain states, Michigan, freaking all these other states around here that are north of the border, focus on what Joe Biden's doing. Me in Central Texas, I'm focusing on what Joe Biden's doing. I don't live in a border town. Let the people in those border towns figure it out. Then when it starts affecting me, then I'll focus on it. But keep your eye on the prize. That's all I'm saying.
And you should. I like how everybody's just kind of giving Biden a pass on the fact that the kids in cages thing is still happening. And they're like, we're just going to ignore that's happening because it's Joe Biden. Like, but could you please let our reporters in? And he's like, no. just wait, let me do it again. No. Like, that's exactly how he's saying it. They're not going to let reporters in. They're not going to let you see the facilities. If you thought Joe Biden was going to be transparent, then you forgot what the Obama years was like. Because he didn't let anybody in there either.
Exactly.
When they built the facilities, like, I like how they're like, oh yeah, like they just, those are Trump era facilities. And it's like, no, they're not. They were built by the Obama era when they started having the influx of immigrants. Then they started deporting everybody. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to have to deal with these facilities that everybody else had to deal with. And now we're having to deal with these migrant crises. And then he found a way to make them stay in Mexico while they're waiting for asylum claims. And then you're like, in the first day, like the first couple of days in office, you go, hey, that's a great idea. We should get rid of it. Just throw it out the window.
And so think about it. So what do they call these facilities before Biden?
They were Gestapo cages. They were kids in cages. All of them.
And they're separating kids. So what are they calling them now?
Separating cages. Like, what was it? It was children detainment facilities. Overflow facilities.
No, you can't say detainment. It was something else. It was like,
it was overflow facilities.
Yeah. So they changed the whole terminology. So you're telling me that these people changed the whole facility in not even 3 months.
Yep.
Not even 3 months. They went in there and revamped the whole facility. No, they
opened it and brought in more than that were actually in the Trump era.
So they brought all these people in, and then they tried to change the terminology because Trump's gone. Well, why didn't they talk about this terminology when they were running for office? They never said that.
Yeah.
These aren't kids. They kept throwing out kids.
Because Orange Man is bad. That's why.
Yeah, it was all about that. So again, all you people that voted for Joe Biden, you're a freaking idiot.
Like,
I stand by that.
That was the thing, like, when they passed the stimulus. Like, if you thought that he was going to fight for $15 an hour, you have not been around since Joe Biden has been in office for fucking ever. He's been in office since Reagan, dude. Like,
exactly.
What the fuck did you think he was going to do? If he was going to get anything done in terms of $15 an hour, or Democrats for that matter, of $15 an hour for minimum wage, they would have done it already.
Yeah, here's the thing, with those people and bouncing off, is that if Joe Biden was willing to throw poor black people in jail, why would he be willing to give poor
he was really willing.
$15 an hour? Think about that shit. Let it ring around. And
that's the same thing with Kamala Harris. I mean, you think she's going to fight for your $15 an hour? No, she's going to put you in jail for pot. Look at what they already did to the people that are working for their office. They were like, hey, we did pot, and now we kicked them out. They're so progressive that they'll kick them out.
Wait, I thought Kamala smoked weed to Snoop Dogg and Biggie, and she did in hell. So
I know, right?
Kamala.
And then, what do you want, Kamala? I want freedom.
You're no longer the vice president because you have to leave, just like all the people that you guys threatened to fire if they smoked weed. So Kamala.
All right. What happened was, this is basically my rendition of what happened in the White House. Okay, who smokes weed? You're fired. Fuck.
Kamala was like this.
Yeah, just like everybody's sticking their hands up. Okay. Who all smokes weed here?
Hey, make sure you contact Charlemagne the God and tell him to delete that video because I don't need anyone to see it. Look,
right?
We
It's
have
like,
screen. There's something called screen record, so everything is forever.
If you don't know, the internet is forever. So if you sent a dick pic to that one lady you were into, your dick is on the internet probably somewhere. You might not know where it is, but it's there. Your dick is there.
My dick is glorious.
It'd
be a glorious thing to
glorious
see.
Penises.
Yes.
Everywhere. All right.
Yeah,
well,
so it's crazy how they flip flop and they argue over weed and all that, and they threaten to fire people, but he's not.
Yeah.
Administration.
Oh, lost their audio there, Michael. Ouch. It's killing me.
Back.
Okay, there he goes. Anyway, I guess that's a good
Sorry.
spot to take a break, and then we'll come back and fix our technical issues.
What? Let's take a selfie. Yeah, awesome.
Bro, I have something in my bag. You're gonna want to see.
No. Last time you were here, my dog didn't shit right for a week.
Bro, trust me. I promise you, this is gonna be totally worth it.
Oh my God.
Michael's 480. That's it. That's his.
Don't judge me.
I judge.
My camera's 1080p. Come on. Give me
It says it's 1080p. No, it's like my internet connection is what's really messing it up.
Well, I have a lot of shit on my internet connection. I'm sorry.
I do too. I have like kids and wife and everything else like that running on the internet, and then
3 adults that live here.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
That will do it. So one of the bigger stories that I've kind of not wanted to touch on too long, didn't care, because I think it deserved a bigger time to talk about, was the Atlanta shooting with 8 people killed at the spa. Now, there's a lot of misinformation with that. Like, one of them was like, he had a bad day, that one of the like liberals are jumping to is like, oh, he had a bad day. It's because he's white. That's why he had a bad day. But that's not what he said. They're taking the sheriff out of context and putting it to what their narrative fits. That's not actually what he said. He was referring to himself having a bad day. It's just a bad day, not to the actual gunman who had a bad day. Because I don't know what the fuck is up with that dude. Like, did you see what he looked like? Like, this is hilarious. I'm gonna scroll to this guy.
Crazy
Look at this fucking neck beard.
Oh, he's Antifa.
No, it's like, look at that beard, man. Like, look at it. Just look at it. Look at it.
Yeah. He looks like a freaking weirdo. He looks like...
He's a fucking weirdo if I've ever seen one, man.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. You know, I get it, man. Sometimes, you know, people go through shit, but going into a place and killing random people for no reason, man.
It wasn't for no reason. I mean, do you know what the reason that they that he gave? Not what the media gave, because the media said it was racism. It's white supremacy. That's why he killed these people. Besides the fact that there were 8 people killed and only 6 of them were Asian and the other 2 were white. Or at least one of them was. I don't know if both of them were, but at least one other person was white that was shot and killed in this event. But we're only focusing on the 6 people because it was a Asian-owned business. Because when have you gone to a spa that wasn't Asian-owned or wasn't Black-owned at this point? Like, honestly, if you walk into a place that does nails, I'm assuming they're either going to be Mama-san or it's going to be the lady at the church who comes in getting her shit done. Okay? Like, and her girlfriends are going to be talking shit all day. You know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, right? This is barbershop shit. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
So I'm sorry. Like, you want to get your nails done, you want to get something done, a hair salon or a barbershop. There are a few people that do that. There's not a whole lot of white people cutting hair or doing nails. Sorry, it's true. It's not a racial thing. It's just a truth thing. So yeah, this neck bearded motherfucker decided to go in and kill people because he has a sexual addiction. He has a sexual addiction problem, and because this spa place, this massage place or whatever, was listed on a website for sexual services. Doesn't matter if it was true or not. That is supposedly that they were. And so he went in there and shot him up because he couldn't control himself because of, I don't know for what other reasons. He's a fucking INCEL virgin looking motherfucker. I mean, come on. Neckbeard. This dude shot up the place because he couldn't get fucking laid. That's all it was. It has nothing to do with the fact that they were Asian. He was just a fucking loser. Like, that's
exactly.
It. It's not a hate crime. It's a loser crime. I am a fucking loser who couldn't get laid. I mean, look at that face. Just look at it. I don't know how else to describe somebody who lives in their mom's basement that jerks off more times than he's had a day than he could possibly manage. That's all I'm saying. Like, this dude did not do it because he's into white supremacy or from the fucking Klan. That's no.
I mean, he lives in his mom's basement. He jerks off the J.C. Penney magazine still.
Victoria's Secret magazine.
Victoria's Secret. You saw a little nipple. You're like, oh, there's a nipple. Let me get.
I think I saw a nipple.
And he's a piece of shit. You know, that deserves whatever's coming to him. You know, but I'm not gonna make it racial. No. You know, I mean, he didn't go in there saying, "Oh, there's a bunch of Asians in here. I'm just gonna go in here blasting." No, he didn't say that. I guarantee he didn't think that. He just went in a major city, and he knew that a lot of people. He actually
visited there apparently before. He shot up a
piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He is a piece of shit that deserves every bit of what he's going to get in prison. That's just the basic way to say it. Is like, this dude is going to get fucked. That guy is getting fucked real bad. Yeah. So like I said, honestly, it's not racial. I mean, one of the things that we're missing over is the fact that they're saying there's a crime wave of Asians being attacked in the streets, and it's because of white supremacy. It's true, but it's not white supremacy that's doing it. There are a load. What? Yeah, I was gonna say there's a load of. As Michael said, it's like it's black people.
It's okay.
There is
Negroes. Yeah, it's okay.
There's a disproportionate amount of people that are being attacked that are from African Americans, and they're not labeling it. There's also another story that you're missing that most people missed this last month, is the fact that 2 black teens went into a white guy's home and burnt him alive. Like, lit him on fire with not gasoline or like a lighter fluid or something. Yeah, and they watched him. They watched him burn, and then they walked out. But is it racist? No, it's not. It's not a hate crime because they lit this dude on fire.
Yeah. But I thought, based off what the media tells us and, you know, liberal logic, is it racist?
Maybe.
I mean, we're told it is.
We're told it is. Yeah, we're told it's generally racist. If if it was the opposite persuasion, then it would be racist. I don't. It's insane. Like, I don't understand how they have to make everything about race. Not everything is about race. Sometimes people are just assholes to be assholes. And sometimes crime waves are just crime waves. Everybody is sick of being caught inside. And so a lot of the crime that we were used to having and used to seeing went down.
Yep. That's
just the way that it was. And if you read any statistics, the majority of crime in the United States is perpetrated by... Don't say it because then you're a racist.
People that look like me.
And it's a sad fact. It is a very sad fact. And I'm not saying, and I don't want people take that out of context and say that, oh, Coy is racist because he said that. And it's like, no, those are FBI statistics. I can't make that shit up because that's what it is. Like, those are statistics of the United States. And the fact that the statistics now are that the majority of Asian Americans being attacked are from African Americans. They're not white supremacists going out there. There are people just doing awful things to other people. And if it wasn't too long ago that they were saying Asians were basically just white anyway, so they didn't deserve the minority protection. But now that they're getting attacked, they're like, oh, white supremacy is coming back, and that's why all these Asians are being attacked. So we should protect them. They're part of the protected class again. I don't know.
Well, we need more Koreans on the rooftops, so I'm just saying,
Well, that's one of the things about like Korea is that there's mandatory service to the military. Like you have to go for at least 2 years in the Korean military after 18. Like you have to go. You have to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So when the Koreans on the rooftops, it's because they're badasses and they knew what they were doing. Like that's just the way it is.
I was in Long Beach actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Noise.
Down the street, about like 5 blocks from my house.
The world's going to shit. This whole thing is going to shit. This neck beard is an asshole. He deserves what he's getting. But like at the same time, it wasn't a racial thing. It was dude had a psychotic behavior and he had a psychotic break and he killed people because of some sort of sex addiction, according to his words. I mean, these are what he's saying. But the media is trying to backflips.
What'd you say?
Blackflips. That's what I was.
Jump high as hell.
I know, right? No, they're trying to do backflips just to prove that it is racist. Like this guy was a white supremacist, and therefore that is why he killed these people. And it's not. It really isn't. It's because he was psychotic. It's it. I mean, I don't know how else do you want to put that. Like unless he was going out there and saying F all these Asians as he's mowing them down, then I would assume that he was doing that for a reason. Usually when people are psychotic and they want to be recognized for something, they will tell you the reason why they're doing something, right? So if he was a legitimate white supremacist, he would be proud of the fact that he killed Asian Americans. It wouldn't he would tell you outright, this is why I did it. I killed them because X, Y, and Z reasons. They would give you the manifesto. He gave his manifesto and it was about sex. Apparently, he's just a fucking weirdo who came in there and killed people. That was it. I'm sorry. It was a race. He would have said it was if it was.
Why do all these killers have a manifesto? Why can't we just call it a diary?
Yeah. You should just call it a diary.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they always
it's the killer's diary. In the killer's diary, he wrote, I had a good day with my kitty.
No, a manifesto makes it sound more like da-da-da. Right after they say that, you have to be like da-da-da.
I mean, yeah, like manifestos are kind of like, who wrote a manifesto? Hitler. Hitler wrote a manifesto. He wrote a manifesto. Mein Kampf in prison, that's a manifesto. Karl Marx wrote a manifesto. That dude that shot a bunch of people did not write a manifesto. He wrote a bunch of gibberish on a piece of paper. That's what he wrote. But no, I don't think he had a manifesto. I think he was, like you said, I said I killed these people because of sex and other things. That was the reason. That's why he did it.
Let me tell you this right now. If I ever had to kill a bunch of people, I wouldn't write a manifesto.
Well, okay, so here's the difference. I mean, this is going to sound super racist, but I'm going to say it anyway. Black people don't do mass shootings. They only have drive-bys. Oh. Because, no, seriously, they never call them mass shootings when black people do it. It's only drive-bys.
You never see a Crip going to a blood neighborhood look like, man, fuck this, cuz. I'm going to kill all these bloods out here.
Right.
Hey, whatever happens, happens.
It's not a mass shooting. It's gang violence.
Yeah. Your Honor, he said, fuck this, cuz. I'm going to make you do it. You know what I mean? That shit, you're right. It doesn't happen.
Yeah. White people have mass shootings. Black people have gang violence.
No. Don't use gang violence because white people have gangs too.
I know they do, but they would just say it was a mass shooting.
But we just call it black on black crime.
Right. Like
that's evil.
Unless there's like a bunch of bikers getting into a shootout like there was in Waco,
Oh, I know.
Like that thing, then it's gang violence. But if it's not, then it's just like it's mass shooting. That's it.
Very true.
I don't know, man.
White people and their mass shootings.
White people do some weird shit.
I tell you. White people eat elephant ass just because to get likes on camera.
It's true. It's
I
very
know.
true.
Yeah, it's true.
No, I mean, every race has one of those things where they're not proud of. I mean, we've got desert crackheads.
I've been there, done that. It's all.
Yeah, it's like we got desert crackheads and fucking backwoods rednecks. I mean, I don't.
But you guys also swim with like great whites and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
We go into houses that are hunted and pretend that this is the greatest deal we've ever gotten.
And stay overnight. You know what I mean?
Stay overnight. Yeah.
Y'all crazy as fuck.
It's true though. I mean, we can all be friends with everybody. I don't know why we have to make everything about race. Like the whole thing with liberals is that they always want to make it neo-segregation. You know.
So
like
here's the thing with Coy.
What was it?
Coy
There was.
Coy and I are being facetious.
Yeah.
Right. Just let you guys know. We're not. Him and I. We don't play that racial shit. We both have our things, and we freaking laugh at that shit.
It's funny.
Black people like fried chicken. So do I. Oh. Well, shit.
Yes. I mean,
you got that one drop.
Honestly, I think the things that are like are Southern are like closely related to black as well, because like fried chicken, barbecues, like those things. It's all Southern living. That's what it is.
Yeah, that Southern comfort food.
Yeah, and I had this thought earlier today is like one of the things that are causing African Americans, I think, to run behind is being trapped in the cities. And a lot of this has to do with what liberals would call generational wealth and all that stuff. But, like, stop trapping yourselves in a city that doesn't give a shit about you. Get out of the city. Get to the rural areas. Start a farm, man.
Do something. Get the fuck out.
Be a farmer. And, people's like, why do you want black people to be farmers, you racist? I'm not saying to go like
there's a lot of money in farming.
There's a lot of money in farming. There is a disparage age difference in the amount of American farmers right now that are over 65 that are about to retire, and there's not enough farmers to be put back into the working age for them. There's not enough farmers to take over for them. And so that's something black people can do. That's what a lot of people can do. Stop being trapped in the inner cities, man. Get out of the cities. Go to the rural places.
And the thing, the one of the problems in the
It's cheaper.
community, like they like to say, wink, wink, is that the minute one moves out, let's say they do move out in the country and they make a lot of money. They grew up in the city. They're talked about. You know what I mean? So it's even hard for successful black people, even though a lot of them really don't give a shit. But for them to move out, a city they grew up in, and because they want to move out of a place that they left for a reason, because they were talented and did it, they get talked down to. Sell out. You left the city and da 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 da. Why not just promote that person and be like, look, he did it, you can do it, to your kids and your kids' kids, your kids' grandpa, grandpas, grandmas, whoever. But more people need to stop shaming someone for leaving a bad situation and building something else.
And a lot of these cities are bad, like Chicago, like in New York City, these places are bad. That's one of the things that I never got is why do African Americans want to huddle together in these cities that keep them down over and over again? And I know what the white liberals will say is like, well, as soon as they move, they're just like, white people are just going to do the white flight thing out of the rural areas. And I say, fucking good then. Let them have the fucking land by themselves. If the fucking white people want to run away, then fine. That means they're still not stuck in the cities and they got tons of room. Let them fucking run.
Get out of the city. I'm telling you. Most
and I'm just saying, get into the suburbs. I'm saying move past the suburbs. Get out of the cities, out of the suburbs. Get into the land, man. Like out in the woods.
So some of the happiest black people that I've ever met in my life. Yeah. I'm talking about, lifetime as an adult for 20-something years, are conservative black people. Because most conservatives, they go out to the suburbs and they get out and they start intermingling with other races of people, or they join the military, cops, whatever. And the most miserable people that I've ever met are the people that only stick to their own. They've only lived in the same city their whole life, and they know nothing else. So the people that they hang around with are miserable.
Yep.
Right? And misery, it's like some toxic blanket that you can put over yourself. The minute somebody puts that blanket on you, if you can't shake it off, man, that's just going to stick with you forever. But what I met with black conservatives or Hispanic conservatives or, people of color, not knocking, or even white conservatives, let's say that. Conservatives in general are usually pretty joyful people, man. We're just like, oh,
Yep.
whatever. But it seems like liberals are the most miserable people I've ever met in my life.
They really are. No, they're
Like-
super depressed about everything. Everything
Yeah.
pisses them off, and everything's making them. I have so many anxiety issues. It's like
Yeah, I mean, and we have issues too. Let's not.
adults have anxiety.
Yeah, we have anxiety, PTS, and PTSD, whatever you want to call it. I call it PTS because it's not a disorder. But
I got
liberals
stress.
seem to use that as a way for people to feel sorry for them. Like they have to be part of a group, or something. So if they throw it out there like, oh, I'm a 22-year-old transgender cis whatever, I have depression, that throws them in a group. You know what I mean? So, and they use that. So if you don't buy into it, because you're a person who looks at things through a different optic. My dog, sorry.
Yeah, they're having a time over there.
Yeah. Freaking dog.
So as Michael was saying, is that liberals are sad, and like you shouldn't let people force you into something that you don't want to do. If you don't want to be a part of that group, don't be a part of that group. There are tons of other groups. There's a lot of communities out there that you can get involved in, especially when it comes to getting out of the city. Get out of the city. Honestly, these concrete jungles are killing you slowly, and there's no reason for you to be in there. Like that's my advice. Like especially to the African American community is get out of the cities. They're not doing you any favors. They're keeping you there locked down for their own benefit, for the Democrats' own benefit. Because if you move out of the cities, then you dilute the Democrat vote. That's what they're afraid of, and that's why they want these inner cities to stay the way they are. But it's doing nothing for your community.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like, you see it a lot of times with people I've grown up with. They still live in the same city and they have a certain mindset. And it's always a racial mindset.
Yep.
People like you and I and other people we know, hundreds and thousands of veterans we know, we've actually experienced the world, man. We've experienced other cultures. We've experienced people that I probably never thought I would be able to hang out with. And then you became best friends.
Yep.
And this is why the military culture, I think, should be a what's the word I'm looking for? It should be a
Mandatory?
no. It's the way our training and the way we interact. It should be the standard. Let's say that.
It's like it's the same way that the Marine Corps looks at it. Is that everybody's green. I don't see color here. Everybody's green. You bleed green. Like it's Marine Corps through and through. I don't care where you came from and what you did before this. You're a Marine now, and that's it. It doesn't matter what else came first.
And then it didn't just start with you and I, man. This has been historical, like since the 1700s. The military's always accepted people that are willing to fight next to them. So if you find somebody liberal, conservative, whatever, if you find somebody that has one thing that you stand for, and you can stand with that person outside of everything else, you can stand for that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's an ally.
Yep.
We forget that. You may not agree on everything. You and I, we're both libertarians, conservatives. You and I don't agree with a lot of shit.
There are things that we disagree on, yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of things we disagree on, but there are certain things we stand by with each other.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps us connected. And so if most Americans will look at life like that, like, I don't like this freaking conservative Trump supporter, but he does stand by this, and I agree with that.
I will defend your right to own weapons.
And if you could stand by that with each other, the world will become a better place.
It really is true.
It's not a perfect society where no one on the earth is going to agree with everything. No, it's impossible. It's impossible.
It is absolutely impossible.
Humanly impossible. So just look at that, America. Coy and I, man, we try to be partisan and bipartisan. I'm sorry. We try to be bipartisan. But
Bipartisan for our right views.
We still stand by what we stand by, and though we don't agree on a lot of things, some things is very minute, but we agree with a lot more. And that's what keeps us connected.
Yep.
Think about that.
It's absolutely true. So I think it's a good place to leave it for this week. Sorry we haven't been doing more of these. There's just been a lot of shit that's happened over the last few months, especially with Michael's diagnosis of COVID, and then just
TikTok becoming TikTok famous again. No,
right. And so like everything rolled downhill, and it just was what it was. But now we're back. We're gonna start doing more of these. More of them back to our weekly schedule. They're still gonna be too long. Didn't care. And then you can follow Michael on TikTok as well. So don't worry about that stuff. Yeah, you can follow me on there. I I started because of Michael. Yeah. I don't even know what I wanted to do with that, so I don't know. I've just been putting clips of the show on there, so that's about it.
Good.
So that'll work. Anyway, that will be it for us this week. We'll see you guys next time. Follow us on Facebook as well as YouTube as well as Minds.com. Go to Teespring, our store as well, and you can buy some awesome t-shirts to help support the show. Anyway, Michael, why don't you go ahead and take us out?
Just make sure you follow both our pages on all social media platforms. The Grizzle Grunt, the Hooch, the Savage Patriots, the Bro Kitch on TikTok, Koi Mac on TikTok. And, it's a lot of work we do. We running multiple social media platforms and everything, trying to give you guys content. Sorry, we've been gone a little while, but we had our lives to get straight. And we're both
and Michael
here.
had COVID, so.
Yeah, Michael had COVID. So we're both back. So. And Coy's got some other things going on in his life soon. I'm gonna hear about his smiles and everything.
Yeah, got like 2 months before another child is out of the womb and born. So so just be patient, and we're gonna keep the content coming like we have been for the last 4 years going on. Yep, I'll keep going.
He's my partner.
Aww. All right, that's it for us, America. We love you.
And we're out.
Out.
According to your Facebook page, we aren't friends.